Hey, folks. If you joined us today to watch an episode on JavaScript signals, I'm afraid I'm going to inform you that we are postponing that episode and actually this whole episode this week. So I'm only here as a public service announcement today because we're running into a little bit of timing issues. We have in the past canceled our episodes and just posted a notice for it because this came very, very late and we had wanted to do the episode. It is something I felt that I needed to get on the air and chat with you about if anybody's here. Now, I'm not sure if there's anybody in the audience right now. I'm not really looking at the channel notice at the channel chat to see who's here. Hopefully, those of you who had planned to be here already read that we are going to be postponing for a while. We've been doing these episodes now for a little over a year, nonstop each week, and there are some difficulties in putting it together. So I want to share with you why you aren't seeing us all here today. Two of our Jans, the only Jans we have on the show. Oh, and now I see that there's somebody else in the chat. Hi, Min. It's good to see you. Two of our Jans, two of our other co-hosts that are normally here also have some problems. Storyteller is in Japan and he's having connectivity issues. He and I would be on the program today running the episode. Our other Jan Küster normally has a week off, and we have that all worked out. And some of you know about the arrangement, some of you don't. He is also in the process of working on some materials regarding his PhD and is in the process of doing some proposals on that. So between now and the end of the year, that's going to be kind of tough for him. One of the things that happens when we do these episodes is we meet on Tuesdays to plan out what's going to happen on Friday. And the ability for us to really turn around high quality work within about 2 days has been a little daunting. We have not established a very good workflow with regard to that. So that's one of the things that we're pulling back to do. The intention has been to always plan with substantial amount of time for the next episode, effectively giving us about anywhere from 7 to 10 days to do that for an episode, and then to try to find a way where we could get a little extra time to do more substantial work where we might be doing a tutorial or something on the episode. All of these things require time, and trying to do things in a 2-day compressed period has not really worked out for us. So we're doing a little bit of soul searching. We're pulling back a little bit. We need time in order to do that. I have proposal to the team, and I'm sure they're going to have counter proposals back on how we could try to make this work. We don't want to just do this to just show up every Friday and then give you material that is not useful to you or is not actionable. We really want to be able to give you quality materials, quality content that can improve your decision making in terms of the tools and resources that are available to you when you're building things with Meteor. But also, if you're a business person working with a team that has built applications with Meteor and you're concerned about whether or not you should continue, we want to be able to allay those worries to the best of our ability based on what we have to allow you to make an informed decision as to whether or not you need to change your stack or continue on. And then there is the other group of people that we're looking out for, which are newcomers that are trying to figure out when they're starting out of boot camp or looking to get their first jobs. Is Meteor a platform that they should try in order to accelerate their entry into the business? And I believe, and I think we all still believe, that it is. It's not as easy as it used to be, but it is still a viable option. And we want to show and provide information that allows those folks to have a more informed understanding of how Meteor fits in and how it can benefit them vis-a-vis some other stacks and platforms. Finally, I think there are the Meteor professionals that are using Meteor that, and I keep saying Meteor, I should say MeteorJS. I really need to disambiguate what it is I talk about so that the YouTube algorithms and the other search algorithms are able to categorize this properly. So the MeteorJS professionals that are out there that are working with MeteorJS, who have been for a very long time, who want to know what's going on with the platform, how do they make upgrades to their applications, what new features are coming their way that they need to think about, what changes might break applications that they are responsible for. Those are all things that we're trying to stay on top of. And I think rightfully we've been criticized that sometimes we miss the mark on this. And I'd like to see what we can do to do better. So again, one of the reasons that we're pulling back on our participation here for now is to get better focus and to make sure that we can achieve those objectives as we go forward. We rely on the work that we do, and there is a lot of work that goes in. For instance, work on signals this week, required me to spend a lot of time just trying to understand what signals are about, where do they come in? Why is it that when it made its way into solid.js, it was such a big deal? How is it different than other means of, other reactive primitives that are out there? How do they differ from observables? What's the benefit that you get out of it? What are the limitations? Can you have both synchronous and asynchronous signals? What is the complaint that, for instance, the Angular team has about not being able to accommodate asynchronous signals well, that requires them to continue to use RxJS? And why is that still a tool that others are looking at? And then, of course, the proposal in front of the TC39 that the Signals team has and how they plan to move it forward. Of course, looking at how it differs from Tracker, why Tracker doesn't even come into the discussion, and then of course part of the problem in terms of, well, it's not a problem, but part of the job in terms of being able to bring this to you today is also one of the failings we felt we had recently with a lot of our episodes, which is not having good illustrations that follow along with the talk. So right now, what you get is a lot of talking heads, but not a lot of background material that might help make a concept more accessible, or code examples that'll allow you to walk through how these concepts get implemented. So those are things that we need to spend a little. That's why we need time. We need time to draw these illustrations. We need time to vet them out against our thinking about what we think, a concept is, and how it should be diagrammed, and what are the timing relationships between messages that go between objects that make these concepts work in real time. What does the code look like? And then instead of just taking sample code, trying it out ourselves, which is one of the things I didn't get a chance to do this week, with some of the sample code I've encountered, and to play with it a bit to really understand this well. So that's where we are. One of the other things we want to do is, and we haven't done very well at all, is share with you topics that we think we're going to do as episodes in the future. And we've been very reluctant to do that because there are a couple of things that happen. One is, depending on the topic that we're looking at, it may either be something that we can do in 2 days or not. And if that's the case, nobody wants to make a hard commitment to it. because we might not be able to pull it off. So, and we're usually so focused on getting the next episode done or getting the next 2 episodes done that, like, having that longer term view of the next 5 or 6 episodes, which we tried to do last week in terms of sharing a point of view of where we want to go. That's been very difficult because we've just been head down, focused, and really not as well organized as we should be to do a little bit longer term planning. So over the weekend and over the next week, we are going to be doing a little more of that. We have a workflow, I think, that should work. I'm still going to wait to hear back from my teammates as to whether or not they think they can commit to this workflow. And if not, we're going to be still doing the thing that we're doing week in, week out, and perhaps not doing the best work we possibly can. So that's a little bit of opening the kimono, so to speak, and sharing with you what goes on inside the program and what's happening with us. It'll be really great if those of you that are working with Meteor, that have Meteor success stories, are willing to reach out to us. We're MeteorJS community at gmail.com, and let us know that you'd like to share your stories. I think us trying to come up with stories is much harder than if we're able to get people who are in the community that are working with Meteor, that have had great successes, that know the limitations, know the workarounds that they've had to deal with their domains, with their applications, and are willing to share those, are willing to come forward and get in front of an audience and have a conversation about it. We'd love to have you do that with us. All right, so that's it. This is the Friday episode. This is not a numbered episode of This Week in MeteorJS. My name is Alim Gafar. Sorry that we haven't had our other co-host with us today, and I'm sorry that we cannot give you the episode that we hoped we were able to, that we had planned to do. We're going to push that down a week. For now, we're going to see whether or not we can make that commitment, and future commitments going forward. We're going to have a conversation among ourselves as a team about what this all means. And I promise, though, I'll get back on this camera and keep you informed as to our updates. So you all have a great weekend. Keep hitting that subscribe button because, you know, it really does motivate us to come back. And if, yeah, we're doing this because we want to be useful. We want to provide useful things. And if you think we're a resource that should stay on, hit that subscribe button, let us know, and we'll be back very soon. All right. Take care now. Bye. Oh, that is the wrong button. This is why we have a team. We rely on each other to get these things done. All right. Ciao, guys.